Okay, again, when we talk about safety, is under Tayyiban aspect. Halal is all related to the Sharia law, the divine command pertaining to food, which is permissible or prohibited for Muslim to consume. And of course, the food safety is in general, Muslim, non-Muslim alike. We're really concerned about food safety, hygiene, cleanliness, wholesome and nutritious. This is common in general by mankind. As a human, we really concerned about this. We talk about food or beverage. Now, this include, of course, process of handling, preparation, storage of food, and transportation or delivery of food. As you know, under global incidences such as foodborne disease, accidental outbreak, the microbiological contamination, bacteria, parasite, virus, and so on. This is a risk due to mishandling of food such as salmonella and E. coli or coliform and so on. And then talking about chemical contamination, lead to contamination in cocoa product, even palm oil, soya, whatever. There are disease, Minamata disease due to severe mercury poisoning. This happened in Japan. The marine life contain excessive of this mercury poisoning. And accidental outbreak, for example, toxic chemical accident happened in West Africa, dumping of chemical and radionuclear accident like Chernobyl in Europe long time ago, meaning there are 30 over years ago. And of course, for the past almost 2 years, we are facing this pandemic of this coronavirus, and we do not know how it started, even though it says it's from China, from Wuhan and so on. But China now is almost under control. See, China really managed to control all out coronavirus pandemic. Now they are going through this endemic, not pandemic, endemic. Okay, objective of this food safety. So, halal food concept. The underlying principle for a Muslim diet, food has to be halal. Of course, halal permissible under the Sharia law or Sharia compliant. And of course, tayyiban. It is an Arabic word, mean wholesome, or healthy, safe, nutritious, and quality. So halalan, tayyiban. You can say halal and tayyib also can, but in as a sentence we call it halalan tayyiban. It's one word which covers not only the permissible under the Sharia compliant, under the Islamic law, dietary law, but also it covers involve food safety, hygiene. Okay, talking about halal values under halal and tayyiban. Permissible, plus good, and universal value. You see here, permissible, of course, there are animals which are permitted under Islamic law, then only we consider halal, permissible. And there are things under tayyiban. This is a halal, permissible. Things concerning under the halal values, good, of course, involve nutritious, wholesome meal, and then universal value. This involved in this environmental, eco-friendly. These are value added. Okay, halal values, of course, food consumed by Muslims should be halalan tayyiban. It's Arabic word. Permissible and wholesome. Permissible, halal. Tayyiban, wholesome, nutritious, quality. I repeat many times because it's very important for you to not only hear these words, understand it, but digest it. Okay, objective. In the context of halal food consumption, the concept of food safety includes aspects such as food quality, hygiene, nutritional values, and critical control points throughout the production process. It covers the concept of food safety, which includes all this. And this process ensures the safety of food for the end consumer, from farm to fork, from fields of origin to the table, in the sense where consumption of the food will not result in any health risk. Okay, no food poison, hazard or detrimental to health. Okay, rationale for halal. Halal components requirement for food include, yes, healthy, nutritious, wholesome, tayyiban, I repeat again. This is added value to human consumption. And then quality, yeah, goodness in taste and the whole value proposition, and hygienic, compliant to food safety regulation, has GMP, good management practice, or GHP, good hygiene practice, and so on, good manufacturing practice. Okay, I just want to highlight one thing. When you talk about halal food, yeah, halal food, but when you talk about halalan tayyiban, halal and wholesome, this is what the Quranic term, the divine command, what God commands us to take food, halalan tayyiban, halal and wholesome or quality. Let me tell you one thing. I saw that some junk food, even halal certified. Yes, in Malaysia you can find junk food. We know junk food. Yeah, you still can eat, consume, but it's under the category of junk food. Halal, yeah, but it's not tayyiban. You cannot eat too much junk food. It's bad for your health, for your kids. Okay, you see the difference? If halal and tayyiban, yes, go ahead. It's a green light. It's in line with the command of God Almighty. Alright? Even though the halal certification body in Malaysia do certify, but it's not good, in terms of wholesome, nutritious value. Okay, now food safety through sanitation. As we mentioned, food is considered safe if it is free from physical hazard, chemical, any hazard, biochemical or microbiological hazard. Alright, it's recommended to avoid it. Now, physical hazard, as we know, physical matters that does not belong in food may cause illness or injury to an individual. What are they? Such as, we call it foreign object or foreign device. Broken glass, splinters, wood splinters, staple wires, metal clips, bone fragments, personal effects. These are physical, these are example of physical hazard. On this topic also there will be a question in the exam paper. There one question to give you some example what are the physical hazard or biochemical hazard. There's one question regarding this. So physical, it's not chemical or biological, such as broken glass, wood splinters, staplers, metal chips, bone fragment, personal effect, nails, the fingernail, nails, splinters of nails, not only wood. Okay, chemical, that are added directly or indirectly to food. That's why under chemical is under control item. You have to follow the procedure, the parameter and the guideline, such as this preservative, flavors, fortifiers, colors, emulsifiers and so on. They use chemical. This one direct, added. Indirect, such as pesticide. That's why you need to go through washing, cleaning, sanitizing the vegetables before produce it, cooking or cutting, portioning and so on. Fertilizers, same. Antibiotics, cleaning, chemical, detergents, sanitizers and heavy metals. These are indirect chemical hazard. Okay, biochemical hazard. It is naturally occurring and generally have life and produces these poisonous chemical substances. These are the names of our sexy toxin in shellfish, allergen, histamine in fish, and peanuts. That's why some people this one moldy peanuts. These are bad peanut have some toxin there, aflatoxin, and some people, even though no toxin, they are allergic to peanuts. They will feel itchy their body. They will have hard breathing, very hard to breathe, and so on. Though toxin and puffer, yeah, we talked yesterday about puffer fish, or balloon fish, or porcupine fish, have that toxin, poison, tetrodotoxin, you call it. But in Japan, as I mentioned, they have chefs who went through training 2 years and passed, and can run the business, tempura business, Japanese fish tempura with the fish they use, puffer fish, fugu they call it. Why? Because they managed to remove the poison, eliminated the poison, tetrodotoxin, neurotoxin in mushroom. That's why some mushroom are poisonous or intoxicating. It can cause you, and of course poison. Cyanide, of course, found in cassava. Cyanide, it is a poison. That's chemical, biochemical. Now, microbiological hazard. This hazard has caused majority of foodborne disease or outbreaks, such as Salmonella, Shigella, then E. coli, Trng, and so on. This is biological hazard. May cause foodborne disease. And food sanitation refers to systematic control of condition during receiving, preparing, cooking, storing, and transporting or delivery and distributing, such that contamination by physical, chemical, biological, biochemical, and micro hazard are prevented. Potentially hazardous food like meat, pork, beef, lamb. So you have to be careful. Even you want to cook chicken, halal chicken, lamb, beef, to make it not only halal but also tayyiban, good, wholesome, nutrition, you need to cook above 75 degrees Celsius. We draw the line 74 degrees Celsius, cannot below. It's uncooked. Must go above 74, meaning that 75 degrees Celsius, including seafood or meat and so on. Even for non-Muslim, even the pork is acceptable, you cannot uncook the meat. Meet the 75 degrees Celsius as the food safety regulation and guideline. You need to meet that. And egg, poultry, chicken, turkey, there are some potentially hazards. And dairy product, like milk, cheese, and so on. The temperature and optimal growth of microorganisms we talk about. I will show you one diagram later on to guide you, because in the exam we will ask you about the ideal range, temperature of chiller, freezer, and so on. I will show you a range. So source of microbial contamination can be from man, from the air, plant, animal, soil, and during food handling and processing. Okay. This good hygiene practice, GHP. Of course, personal hygiene involves hands and skin, fingernails. Make sure fingernail must be kept short and clean. This under food hygiene guidelines. False fingernails should not be worn. False fingernail. You have a short fingernail, but you put the false fingernail. It's in the market. But no, during working hours in the production area, no, it's not allowed. Nail polish, it should be not be used. Glove, wearing of glove is not substitute for hand washing. Always use clean and sanitized glove, disposable type. Okay. At your workplace, at the production area or cooking at the kitchen or what, you feel like going to the washroom, toilet, you remove, dispose the glove. Even you wearing the dust coat, protective gears, or you have to remove and hang it at the hanger and enter the washroom or toilet. After that, wash hand, clean your hand, wash and sanitize. Then only you put on the new gloves. Wear your dust coat, hairnet, or mask. Nose, mouth, ears. These are personal hygiene also. We talk about this, such as cough and sneezes can carry droplets of infection. Of course, if you are unwell, sick, you cannot come to work. You need to go and see doctors and take medical leave, especially in food production area. Picking and scratching of nose or any parts of your body are not acceptable, even though you wear glove. No, no, no. You cannot scratch here and there. Discharges from nose, mouth and ears can contaminate food. Yes. If you sneeze, oh, you know, careful. Body, of course, you need to bathe daily, use deodorant or soap and so on. Jewelry and perfume, under the jewelry policy, the company policy, most of food industry, they have a policy. They call it jewelry policies. Not allowed to wear jewelry as it can collect bacteria. It can be physical hazard. Perfume also can taint the food. Let's say you spray the perfume on your neck. Suddenly, you scratch your neck. That's why not allowed to do that. And then contaminate with the perfume, the chemical, and then you can contaminate the food. Okay, hair restraint. Hair is prime breeding ground for microbes. That's why even a strand of hair also on the food will upset the customer. Hairnet are required to keep hair from falling off. Yeah. Combing and adjustment of hair cover must be done in the restroom, in the washroom, not in the working area. Cannot comb your hair in the working area in front of the food. That's under the rule of personal hygiene. Smoking, eating, drinking. Yeah, smoking, eating and drinking can contaminate your hand and fingers. Alright? You can eat and drink during your break time at the dedicated areas in your cafeteria and so on. No smoking zone. Yes, many companies, they have no smoking zone outside the building, like a bus stop area. They put no smoking zone. Dedicated. If you don't smoke, it's good, for your health. It's better. Dedicated eating zone, like canteen, cafe, or what. Okay, again, we're talking about personal hygiene, clean uniforms. Yeah, that's why many companies, they provide uniform to you. Every day when you report duties, you sign in, and then you will collect your uniform from the counter. Or they will, some companies, most are doing that nowadays. Those days before, I've experienced that. We are provided 4 sets of our uniforms and also a laundry allowance. Yeah, laundry allowance. So that we can send for laundry. Always wear clean clothes to work. Wear dedicated uniform. And uniform must not be worn inside the working area. You have the changing area or the restroom there. They provide that. Sanitation, education and training. Yeah, very important. Hygiene training and so on. So all food handlers must receive the appropriate food sanitation, education and training. Yeah, food safety and hygiene training we call. We call it food safety and hygiene training. The proper training record, including refresher session, they need to have that proper record. And actually, it's mandatory for food industry in Malaysia or any other part of the world. It's a requirement to get the license. Apart from the medical health checkup and so on for the employees and the employer, but they also need to have this training. If you deal on halal, you need to have halal and hygiene training. If the company want to apply for halal certification, the auditor will check the staff have been trained or not on halal, on food safety or on hygiene. General health and illness. Food handlers should be in good health and physically fit for work. Medical clearance or checkup is required. Yeah, before they employ, before you get the job, you will be asked to go for medical checkup at the government hospital or what, to give them the report, or to the clinic identified by the company. Unfit, not allowed to enter production area. This GMP, talking about good manufacturing practice. As you know, GMPs involve all this, the point I'm showing you, facilities, ground, water quality, sanitary facilities they have to provide. This is under the good manufacturing practice. The building itself must be properly designed, the process flow, the flow plan and so on. Outside premises also need to have fans and so on. Will not allow any stray dogs or cat easily, or even the intruders to come into your buildings. Product and recall plan, you need the management need to have this under the halal assurance system also. They need to have a product recall plan. Receiving storage area, proper receiving and storage area, which involves dry store, chiller, freezer, with a proper correct temperature control. These are good, involved in under good manufacturing practice. Pest control program, equipment utensil, proper equipment utensil and proper cleaning, pot wash, design and installation, and lightings, everything need to do proper as per the food safety program. And also maintenance under the good management, they need to have maintenance and preventive measures, process control, quality control, including that, and the manufacturing environment, employees hygiene, formulation control, formula, in using of the ingredients, additive and so on, labeling and code dating, and reworking, reconditioning. So these are the good management practices. When you talk about facilities and ground, include outside premises, buildings, sanitary facilities and water quality. And when you talk about this process control, involve manufacturing environment, employee hygiene, formulation control, labeling and code or dating and so on. Equipment utensil, design, installation and maintenance and preventive measures. So purchasing, receiving and storing all food accepted must be carefully inspected and correctly stored to ensure their highest quality and to protect them from contamination. Implementation of safety assurance program begins with purchasing, receiving and storing. Yes, safety program, there's a CCP, the critical control point also. Number 1, CCP1, it started from purchasing, receiving, record, purchasing and then receiving, is it in good condition and so on. If frozen, is it freeze, frozen, and meet the temperatures, and the storing, also proper storing, either dry store or chiller or freezer. This is implementation of food safety. Same to the halal control point, HCP also. It starts from purchasing and follow from receiving, storing and then only production. Receiving of fresh meat, for example, when receiving meat, check all packaging. Number 1, dirty, torn, damaged or broken wrapping, or boxes may mean that the meat is contaminated and should be rejected. As an audit, when you do audit, you have to look into this when checking. Normally, all companies dealing with food, imported food and so on, they have their QC team, quality control team, or from this hygiene department. They're the one who will do the checking. QC check, they call it, when receiving the meat or other raw materials, not only meat or other product. Can be dry product, perishable product, non-perishable product. Okay. Check the internal temperature of fresh meat and reject cuts that are warmer than 14 degrees Fahrenheit. I will show you the diagram later on related to this for the temperature required in the area. Receiving fresh meat, check that meats are light pink to red and uniform in color. Aged beef may be darker in color. Old meat, or aged beef are darker in color. Check all fresh meat for smell and reject them if there is a sour or rancid odor. Check the texture. You have to check apart from the smell, the texture of the fresh meat, it must be firm and elastic, not soft, you know. Any meat that feels slimy, sticky, or dry should be rejected. This is talking about the raw material. Now, check all fresh meat for smell, and then check the texture. Must be firm, not slimy, sticky, or dry. It should be rejected. Frozen meat should be below -18 Celsius, because we use the Celsius. We, Malaysia, Asia, we use Celsius. Philippines, Indonesia, Brunei, all we use Celsius. These are US, they use Fahrenheit. Okay, now below, and show no sign of defrosting or refreezing upon delivery. It must be solid, frozen meat, unless you want to defrost. When delivery, you bought frozen meat, you must receive frozen, not chilled, not defrost. Defrost you will do yourself when times come, as and when required. Check packages of ground meat with extra care because it spoils quicker. Okay. Fish, poultry also same. You need to check the temperature. Reject poultry that has purple or greenish color. Reject. You need to reject that. It's maybe the sick chicken. Other sign of spoilage include abnormal or bad smell, darkened wing tips, and soft flabby and sticky flesh. You have to reject that. Okay, seafood and so on. Except fresh fish has bright skin with gills that are moist and red and scale firmly attached. Fresh fish should be delivered and stored packed in crushed ice. Crustaceans and shellfish, crustaceans like crabs, lobsters, must come from approved source. Fresh shellfish should be alive when they are delivered. I want to share, in Malaysia we import a lot of even from Philippines, most are from Vietnam, the seafood, because apart from the deep sea fishing, they do have a lot of farm. It's a farm fish. We to approve to get the AP approval permit so that they can export the seafood to Malaysia. Malaysia has sent the veterinary department teams to do, and of course the halal team, because which are halal anyway. You don't need halal certificate to check, because of there are some certain reason. The farm fish, we worried that if they feed the animal properly, okay, fine. But if continually, we talked about it yesterday, the topic, or intentionally feed with non-halal, so we have to check that. Only that, and on a hygiene aspect, the container they use, the storage, the boxes, they pack, the packing material, everything we check on food safety and hygiene. Dairy product, all milk and dairy product used in food service assembly must be pasteurized. Expiration date on the package gives the last date that a milk product may be used. Any packages after that should be rejected. Okay. We are doing that. Okay. Receiving egg product, fresh egg should be refrigerated immediately upon delivery. It's good. And of course, check shells or cracked or dirty. Acceptable egg will have no noticeable odor. Liquid, frozen, and dry egg must be pasteurized. Receiving fruits and vegetables, it should be free from soft rots and insect infestation. Slightly blemish. You wash with salt, also good. Sodium hypochlorite, to wash, sanitize the vegetables to get rid of all the dirt or insect or what. Slightly blemish produce can be acceptable if flavor and quality are not affected. Okay, and so on. Okay, talking about this, I don't want to read everything, but you can have that. Frozen food, if not frozen, is reject. Always follow FIFO, first in, first out. Okay, and regarding the ready to eat food, always store cooked and ready to eat food away from raw food to prevent contamination. Ready to eat food, keep food out of temperature danger zone. Store food only in areas intended for food storage. Basic rule, keep hot food hot, cold food separately. Okay. Prevent contamination, practice batch cookery, and control the amount of time food are exposed. Okay, this is a guideline for you to do audit, to check on all this site of or location, must not be near potential pollution and sanitized hazard. You see, yesterday we talked about it already. I put this in point. No, you cannot build a company, a food industry. It's under the law, local law or international law, from potential pollution, from the smell or something hazard, sanitation hazard and so on. Okay, adequate supply of clean and potable water, existing facility for waste disposal, floor, drain, wall and ceiling, check durable, resistant to soil absorption and smooth, not slippery floor and so on. Non-skid, non-absorbent floor, all crack, depression should be eliminated. This is the topic we discussed yesterday. Make sure to avoid any potential breeding site for the pests. Wall ceiling should be cleanable. Pest control, regular pest control program. All the company will have that. Screen all window, doors, outer. All this is very straightforward. Fill out opening crack. I've talked yesterday all this topic. This is bird droppings. Make sure not only pets, but make sure no other animal allowed. The hole that the birds can come into the building, the factory, and then you see the dropping fall on the uniform. This can be hazard. Can cause food poison. Consistent and safety of halal product. Halal integrity, no compromise. Yeah. Halal is hygiene and food safety. Food safety and hygiene is halal. Okay. Hope you understand it. If not safety, it's not hygiene, it's not halal. And above all, social responsibility, a great demand, good for everyone. You need to give back to the society. Whatever profit you gain. Of course, in Islam, we do have a mandatory, a compulsory and obligation. Whatever profit we generate, 2.5% doesn't belong to us. It's 2.5% of your income go back to the society. Donation and so on, you can do that. That's a corporate social responsibility. CSR. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Do you have any question? I received a lot question. Is it permissible to use hand sanitizer if there is alcohol in it? As you know, most hand sanitizer contain alcohol. Some, of course, alcohol-free hand sanitizer. They use on chlorine base, But here the question. So the answer by this, our Malaysia and also even in Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, in UAE, Brunei, Indonesia, they have a decree. The Islamic scholar came out with a decree. This is not new. It's a long time ago when we involved in food industry, not only because of this COVID-19 cases. Okay, just just look here. This is clear as decided by the Malaysian National Fatwa Decree. The fatwa and the committee, the Muzakarah committee, which states that, medicine, because from the question was asked earlier, antibacterial hand sanitizer and perfume that contains alcohol is permitted and halal to use. Not only our national Malaysian fatwa, but in many countries by the government authority or the Islamic scholar did mention that. It is because alcohol content, like isophenyl alcohol, 70% in the hand sanitizer. It's antibacterial substance. It's not intoxicant. It's not a beverage that you can drink. It's not consumable. So the issue of getting intoxicated doesn't arise. Okay. Thank you.